It's episode 23 because this episode likes to drink beer. I'm not sure which episode of Storytime this is going to be. It's going to depend because I'm going to have, I think, other Storytimes record. It'll just be uploaded on a weekly basis. So, Birthday Boy's the guest for the show today because we're recording this on his birthday, if anyone's curious. So, happy birthday to Mr. Beerus.
Well, thank you.
How are you doing?
I am doing well, actually. I'm tired. I enjoyed Raw. And hopefully I'm wrestling soon.
So, how's HWL going with you? When I think about it.
Well, that's a hell of a way to start off this story time because nobody really understands why I'm there or everything that's going into HWL Hellbent. It's been fun. I haven't done much yet, of course, besides, become the United States champion, which was quite an honor, I will say. It was quite the honor to become United States champion. Makes me the first person ever to hold the CWA, the PGW, and the HWL United States title, so that's quite the honor. Seems like my debut has been rather positively received, so that's good, I guess. I don't particularly care, because as you know, I'm wrestling for myself now. Again, if the fans enjoy me, then I'm glad they do, and I appreciate that. But it's been fun. It's thrown some people off, including even a few members in my family and a few former PGW superstars. It's thrown them off. It's surprised them, and it's possibly made an inspiration for them to move there as well. I don't know if anything will come of some of these people, but it's been good.
Now, do you think... I think I mentioned this in the last story time we did. There's a lot of people that we know that are not going to do it, like me, George, Brandon.
Well...
do you know if they still want to do backyard wrestling like any other people?
Well, I'll say...
Not HWL, exactly.
First things first is... That's actually one of the main reasons I'm doing a second story time is because a lot of things have changed since my prior one, including, of course, the channel situation, my thoughts on certain people, and just the environment itself. Of course, a lot's happened in the past few months. But, obviously, you're not going to Hellbent. George ain't going. Brandon ain't going. 2 months ago, I didn't think I was going. And then on June 7th, I got the message from Daniel saying, want to come to Hellbent? And I'm sitting there. It actually took me a second to process it, but I said, yeah, absolutely, because I've wanted to do it for a while now, but I really wanted to do it now that PGW was over. And I did. I made actually walk there that day. That walk sucks ass. Did the Is He Spotted thing and went from that. But I'll probably talk more about that in a bit. But I think some people are more willing now that PGW is out of the picture. I think that they have a much bigger chance to go to Hellbent now that they don't have that outlet in their life of PGW. Of course, a lot of people used to make fun of Hellbent, including myself. But Hellbent, it's a home. It's a place to wrestle. It's a place to compete. And it's filled with good people, good fans, a fun environment. And it's enjoyable. I do think that at least people will be trying. If you guys saw on my video I did last week on the PGW channel, Maniac actually commented potentially wanting to join. So
now, if Maniac even joined HWL, would you even be interested in him joining?
With me?
Yeah.
I honestly don't care. I don't really care. Just understand that I'm not the boss, Daniel is, and that's the thing people need to understand is, I am fully understanding that Daniel Block is my boss now, wrestling-wise, and Greg Maniac will have to do the same. As you know, back in the day, as you like to call it, attempted authority, he enjoyed, dare I say, calling his own shots. That's going to happen even less in Hellbent if he joins, which, I mean, that's a maybe in itself. Who really knows?
Now, do you know what's going on with the Imperius situation? Like,
Where the hell is he?
Yeah, where's Imperius been, like, from HWL? He hasn't been there in, like, 6 months.
Well, I will say that while we're recording this, something relating to him may change. I will always keep that disclaimer out there because I have no idea what the hell is going to happen. Just look at my last story time. He hasn't been there since January 28th. That was when he had a match with, I believe, Daniel. It was a pretty good, like, 6-minute match. I don't know where he is. I don't know if...
Dogs.
What?
Dogs.
Probably. But I know me and him got into a huge argument late February, early March. We didn't really make up. I told him if he wanted to do a video for 40, he could. However, he's been hardcore champion since October, but it's been an absolutely terrible reign. I think he defended it one time against Lunatic and Daniel Block in a decent triple threat. But as of right now, I don't know. The only thing I hope is that him and Jackson Brooks face.
Now, do you sorry to interrupt you there, but do you think that HWL is going to strip Imperius of the title?
I don't know. Because I know Daniel isn't hugely thrilled with the fact that it is nearing Nathan Block's United States title reign when it comes to number of days. Of course, in terms of legacy, there is no competition. Nathan Block's United States title reign was phenomenal. It was he had it for, I think, 224 days, and it is one of the greatest title reigns I've ever seen, ever.
Like, one of the things I think HWL needs to do, and it's just my opinion on this, one of the things I think they should do, and I think we kind of had it in place for CWA and all that, but then we kind of stepped away from it, but I think there should be a 30-day, like, in between days, or whatever. So it's like you have to defend the title in between, like, the 30 days, otherwise you get stripped of the title.
See, I don't necessarily agree with that. Here I would have agreed with it because we have a lot more matches, but of course, in Hellbent, they don't have any matches. I mean, between January 28th to my debut, which is January 28th to June 12th, alright, they had 3 matches. No, yes, 3 matches. 3 matches. Oh, I'm sorry, 4 matches. And that was Nathan Block, Chris Reckless, Last Man Standing, 2 Daniel Block versus Chris Reckless matches, and Chris Reckless versus a White Panther. So I'm sorry, 3 matches. That White Panther one does not count. So that is a 5.5 month period where Chris defended his U.S. title, lost it. Daniel didn't defend it. Well, he did defend it in March in the 1-year anniversary match, but that was in March, so technically he broke 60 days until he defended it against me. And even Chris hasn't defended his title for a while. Now, that's not their fault, because people don't show, and that's been the struggling part of Hellbent for a while, is people don't show. Therefore, like, you clearly can't rely on much content, which, of course, is one of the reasons I'm there. I really want to get Hellbent. I want to get Hellbent's ass in gear. I want to shoot it to the top, shoot it to the most potential it can be. And, you know, I've made it publicly clear I don't give a shit what people think about that. Hellbent has a lot of potential, a lot more than I ever thought it did. And with me there now, that really opens the door for even more potential, in my opinion.
Like, God.
Hold on, I'm almost done. I think with me there, with Assault there, because Assault can be a big help in this, I genuinely think that Hellbent has a chance to really get into what it can be, and that's what I want. And that's what I think Daniel ultimately wants, and everybody else there.
Like, do you think there's, like, a passion level with HWL compared to PGW? Like, do you think people don't have as much of a passion for HWL?
Oh, fuck no, they don't. Absolutely not. And it's a shame that they don't. I will say back in the day they did. Carter Woods, Daniel Block. Of course, Daniel Block does still have that passion. He wouldn't be continuing this place if he didn't. I give that dude all the credit in the world, and I also thank him for giving me the opportunity to wrestle at Hellbent. I'm very thankful for that. But I don't think the passion is as high with everybody else. You know, Nathan Block, I believe, does it for fun, but not necessarily a passion. Chris Reckless has stated he's there because PGW ended. However, I do think Chris Reckless has more of a passion for it than he leads on. I really do. I believe he genuinely does care about Daniel Block. Daniel Block brought him here. Daniel Block essentially gave him a life. And I think he does have a decent passion for it. As for everyone else, no. Jackson Brooks wants to do shit, but of course he can't a lot of times. He's currently in Mississippi, actually.
He works at McDonald's.
Yeah, good for him. Congratulations. Imperious, he had a passion for it. I know he works now. I don't know the whole situation.
I haven't talked to him since the story time I did with him.
I know he has a passion for it, but I don't necessarily believe that passion is as great as it was. And then everybody else at this point, I mean, they're there to be there. That's about it.
Now, I want to talk about Shane really quick. Now, Zero Salt, he didn't get the world title or anything in PGW or CWA. Do you think that opens the door for Zero Salt to become possibly a future world champion in HWL?
Absolutely, I do. I believe that with Hellbent struggling the way that it is, I believe that is a shot that Zero Assault possesses to become champion. Of course, Assault, he couldn't make it here, and he was close, actually a lot closer than anybody thinks. There's going to be a fun fact video coming out soon that I do, which might be done prior to this, I don't know.
Probably.
That involves a potential Zero Assault thing, but Zero Assault, I truly believe if he shows passion for it, and he shows that he is committed to Hellbent, and he shows that he is committed to getting better and being champion, I do believe that one day you will be calling Zero Assault the HWL World Heavyweight Champion. I do believe that.
Now, what are your goals? Does Beerus have goals to become world champion as well? Is Beerus going to try to stop people from trying to claim what his right is?
Oh, absolutely. Beerus, in storyline format, would want that championship, as I do myself, as Steven. I want to be champion. I want to be the top guy. But, of course, with Steven, this is sound like I'm bipolar here, I, of course, want to earn that. But Beerus, of course, the championship is the end-all, be-all goal. Because it'll be the first time ever I hold a world championship that I don't own already. I will be a champion of an organization that I don't run or that I don't own. And to top it off, if I do become champion there, first person to hold the CWA, PGW, and HWL World Championships. So that would be an honor in itself. But of course, I'm going to try to fight to become World Heavyweight Champion, no doubt about it. If I achieve it, then I achieve it, and I hope to. I hope to impress the, HWL management enough to do that.
Now, one of the rumors that I heard about was them possibly getting the trampoline from you guys. What are the rumors, or is there any news coming out? Is the trampoline going to be making a transfer all the way to HWL?
Honestly, probably not. I'm hearing that it isn't exactly. Number one, I heard Daniel wants to keep his more ground-based because that's who they are. I've also heard that, a certain someone doesn't really want a trampoline in their yard, of course. But my voice is cracked. But there was talk. I offered him. It was Chris's idea a couple weeks ago. I offered it to Daniel. I said, you can have it. I have no use for it anymore. But I don't believe he will be taking it.
Now, what's the state now of the trampoline? Is it going to permanently stay here, or are you guys going to sell it somewhere else?
No, it's going to stay here.
Just going to stay?
Yeah, we were just offered to have a second one the other day.
Oh, really?
My dad's friend offered us to take a second one, but I don't think he knew we already had one or something.
Okay. That's very funny.
Whoops. Continue.
He turned on his Xbox if anyone's curious.
I was playing Left 4 Dead earlier. It was fun.
Did you ever turn... Actually, I want to ask you this really quick. Did you ever turn off the Xbox on Chris playing Left 4 Dead? Because I know I did it that one time. You really have to.
No, that was the only time. Might post that to the channel.
Oh, I'll have to send you the footage. I think I'm the only one who has it. But, trying to think here. Now... Do you think, do you know for sure PGW's done uploading stuff to the channel? Is it...
Oh, no.
Is anything PGW related will be going to the HWL channel or not?
Wait, what?
Is everything done on the PGW channel, but it'll be now posted to the HWL channel?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, no? Okay.
No, we post the Q&A, the reflecting, the what happens now video, Chris's, which, might I add, Chris's Hall of Fame speech was not supposed to... It was supposed to be him reviewing his career, kind of, sort of, which turned into a whole fucking series of videos. But there's going to be Maniac and Cryptic's Hall of Fame speech, which Lord only knows when I'll get those.
Do you think they'll happen?
Oh, they'll happen. They just might be a while. Cryptic's will probably be sooner than Maniac's. But, yeah, there will be occasional stuff, maybe beyond wrestling, even though there's no wrestling to beyond now. But there will be occasional crap, occasional shit. Videos I feel like doing. I almost did a video of talking about my favorite moments and matches. I might do a video on inspirations that I've had while wrestling. Maybe even review some stuff. I don't know. If I get bored, I'll produce a video just to kind of keep somewhat of an eye up with the fans, which some of them I talk to personally. I talk to Marcus, not daily, but a decent amount of time.
Now, I'm going to try to get away from HW now. Move over to PGW. Now, I think the last time we talked about this stuff, was it April or something?
Yes.
Did we talk about Butcher and Raven's possible match? Do you remember?
No, because after it was already announced that we would be facing them.
Okay, but screw us. Do you know why that match didn't happen?
Well, you see, we were getting closer to it, and it seemed like neither really cared. It seemed like neither really cared. I mean, Butcher wasn't even fully sure.
Because I remember, I said this in my experience video, I remembered around Missionary 32 or 33, George wanted to have a match of 40. He said the only two people he wanted to wrestle 40 would be either me or Akumen.
Well, fun fact. That's not entirely true.
Yeah.
Butcher wasn't fully confirmed for 40 until the day before 36. Yeah, so that's a fun fact. He was not fully confirmed for that event until after 36. He wasn't sure he wanted to do it. The one thing that pushed him over the edge, I said, you'll regret not doing it after it's over. And he said, yeah, you're right, I probably would. Now, why that match didn't happen, we're getting closer to it. Butcher, as you just stated, didn't want to do it. So I'm like, I don't have an opponent. I did not like the idea of Scorpion versus Genesis. Butcher would be more willing to do it if it was against you, and it could be two childhood feuds accommodating in the two huge matches at 40. So I took the idea to Chris and Raven, because they were here at the time. They loved it. They thought it was great. They thought it was so much better than the prior ideas. So, in the end, we decided that it would be me versus Raven and you versus George. I know that it was negatively received to some aspects. Me and Raven.
I think it was positive.
Well, me and Raven was definitely positive. You and Butcher, a lot of people hated it. I enjoyed the match personally, and in the end, I'm the only opinion that I really give a shit about at this point in time. Because now, of course, with everything being over, but I enjoyed the match. I loved me and Raven's match. I was proud of it. And in the end, it created a lot of new feelings. It created, a feeling of disdain. It created a feeling of, especially with me and you, of the atonement. I mean,
a lot of people hated us, well, especially me.
Well, because of this sadism, the borderline sadism that we committed.
Because I know I was hated only because they thought I didn't deserve to be in it, but it was a great time because it showed that we were doing our jobs right.
Because we pushed the envelope. I mean, the stuff we did. Oh my God, the attack on Chris, on Shane. You targeting George's father, me targeting Raven's personal life.
Chris wanting both of us to attack him that day. I remember that.
Yeah, and then
that was his idea.
Us costing Chris, but then ultimately, in my opinion, the greatest and most despicable moment of all time, even above the crucifixion and the fake retirement, has got to go to when we forced Chris Reckless to brutalize Akuma. I mean, the acting was great. You were a little bit poopy in that, I must admit.
Well, I mean, you said I wasn't supposed to do really anything in that anyway.
So,
except I hit Chris in the fiberglass thing, and he got so pissed.
Oh, well.
Because I thought when you said hit him, I thought you meant for me to hit him, so I hit him.
Yeah, I did. I said hit him. I wanted you to hit him once.
Because Chris didn't want me to hit him, but when you said hit him, I did.
I did, so I told you to hit him, and you hit him, so I was happy. But, I mean, the acting was great. I mean, it felt genuinely sadistic and vile. I mean, I showed a few people that clip, and they were a little disturbed. I mean, it was borderline sadism.
It was fake blood, too. But it still looked realistic.
Oh, yeah, it looked like we brutalized him, and then, of course, faking, the bearing the mark was real. I honestly felt bad for Akuma, and then the two shots were real. Then I actually hit Chris in the head with the bat. I mean, it was so bad that it was only on YouTube for about an hour. And then they took it down. We actually got a strike against the channel, which, we only had 2 weeks of actual posting left, so I still have it saved in my computer, though, so I can watch it at any point. But, I mean, one of the greatest moments of all time.
You could probably still upload it if you really wanted to, but I think the reason why I got taken down was because of Ed's face.
Yeah, probably.
I think if you would, wanted to re-upload it, you would have to edit it where Ed's face doesn't show.
Yeah, fuck that shit. The imagery and the memory of it is enough for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great. But, yeah, I mean...
So I still have the crucifixion video.
Somehow I just changed from I just completely changed subject, but... Yeah, I mean, it was great. And then, obviously, Butcher and Raven. In the end, I think it was a good idea that match did not happen. Yeah, it would have been a big name-valued match, but we got 2 big name-value match, and both were very good. So I think it was well worth it.
Yeah, because they were pretty much 2 of the, if not the most build-up matches.
Yes.
But I mean, even though Raven didn't really do stuff for it besides the 30 and 39 thing, but I mean, overall, I think George and Raven stepped up to do these matches.
Oh, yes. And
I know George was really up to this match.
He was. I honestly didn't think he'd put that much into it. And might I say, by the way, the 39 tag team match is one of the matches I take the most pride in that I've ever been a part of.
I made a top 10 most proudest matches I was a part of on the doc sheet. You'll have to look it up. I know I had that like in the top 5. Because I put number 1, I put my match with George from 40, and number 2, I put against Chris Reckless from before 40.
I will say this: that tag team match. I mean, it's the second most viewed on the channel. It's amazing. It's a great match. It's a great feeling.
Great story.
Great story. The 4 original Atonement members from Missionary 3. It was great. I very much take pride. I mean, I like a lot of my matches, but that is one of the matches I am proud and I take pride in.
Like, there are some people who thought that Brandon and George were a little bit rusty,
Absolutely
but
not.
I still think they weren't.
In my opinion, those 2 were better than they ever were. Butcher, especially Butcher. I was actually more worried about Butcher than Raven.
That's why you got to keep his moveset low.
Butcher, I mean, he did very good. Raven did very good. Both men did very, very, very good, and I was very proud of that match.
Because one of the tough challenges I have with George is he doesn't have many moves in his arsenal.
No.
So I have to figure out a way to adapt to George's style.
Well, in the
Whereas
end,
Brandon's is much easier because Brandon has a ton of moves.
See, Brandon's is easier, but it's harder at the same time because his movesets are so out of fucking whack.
Yeah.
You don't really know what's coming.
Because George only has 6 or 7 moves.
Well, there's a reason someone once compared him to our John Cena, but
Goldberg.
let's not be that much of an asshole.
Spear.
But anyway.
And then we went down to, I believe, Final Judgment. What did you think of Final Judgment 3?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a hell of an event. Sadly, Cryptic wasn't there, but oh well.
Do you know why he wasn't there?
He worked. He's been working a lot more mornings lately. He's been working a lot more, which is good. I mean, as you know, he's 28 now. It's good that he's really finally working more. I'm sorry, that sounds rude, but he's growing up now.
But then, actually, I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on Cody versus Akumu taking place?
This was a good story time. Control your fucking kid. Don't have your kid going around with a goddamn baseball bat and he hits this 240-pound, not necessarily stable Akumu, and look what happens. Fucking Diablo and Genesis got destroyed with a baseball bat, which was funny as hell. Don't get me wrong. I watched that clip probably 15, 20 times.
I'll probably show it on here as well.
It was fucking priceless. And here, if you want to show another one, when Akumu punted fucking Genesis in the head.
I'll show both videos right now.
Sure, why not?
Oh shit, Akumu snapped. Don't hit Chris, that's your heart. Ah! 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 I came on the other side! Cookie! I'm not normal! What's going on?
That pump to Genesis, I just showed him on here.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
What happened with that situation? How that happened?
Come about?
Yep.
Well, you see, Genesis gets in the ring now. Okay, I don't even know if I'm saying it anyway because I really don't care at this point. That's kind of another point of this story time is people are going to start understanding that some of these people I don't fucking like.
Voice of reason.
What?
I said voice of reason.
Voice of reason, my ass. I used to be
I'm
like
just
that.
I'm just acting like Nicholas there for a second.
Oh yeah, I used to call Nicholas the voice of reason. Well, you see, Genesis got in the ring. wrapped Chris in a hold.
I heard
Chris
him.
said, bad shoulder.
You can hear him on camera, too. He's
Yeah.
like, bad shoulder.
Well, guess what? Genesis didn't let go. So Kumu, defending his friend, punted him in the back of the fucking head. You could argue that's a little rude. I don't preferably care. He was defending his friend, plus he don't like Bailey. So, you know what? It is what it is. He said bad shoulder, and Bailey didn't let go.
I pulled Bailey's hair during the tag match. But
Yeah,
but not fully.
Yeah, Ed about pulled Bailey's head off of his shoulders with his foot.
Let's talk about Missionary 40 now.
Sure, since we're
No,
talking about Bailey's punt.
Okay, so we can start with Bailey's performance then. Like,
He got his ass kicked.
I was gonna say you said you weren't really a huge fan of Genesis' performance that night.
He got his ass kicked.
Like he let him get himself beat up. Because
I'm listening.
he was in that U.S. title match. In my review, I said I liked the match.
Oh, the match was good.
Except I didn't like how it was one-sided.
Well, Cryptic, me and him talked the prior day, and they're going to learn something here. I was somewhat pushing for Genesis to win. I know. Shocker, right?
Yeah. I was going to ask why didn't Genesis win then?
Well, me and Nick decided, here's what's going to happen. If he's going to win, he's going to earn it. As in, he's going to take everything Nick can give and then fight. Well, he took everything Nick could give, but he really didn't fight. That's why Nick didn't tap out to him. He passed out. Well, passed out, quote unquote. Nick decided that he's going to win. He was, one of the greatest United States champions of all time. Had 3 reigns with it. And somewhat impressive reigns. The third one, But of course, the first one was pretty good. The second one was legendary. And he decided, you're not doing enough, so I'm winning. And I full well agree with that statement. And
half of these matches, I think, were non-scripted. I think you and Brandon was scripted, I believe.
Yes, it was.
Me and George wasn't, but I told George to beat me because I had no intentions.
That means it's scripted.
So, yeah. Because I told George I had no intentions of walking out as final Intercontinental Champion. Because it wouldn't have made sense from the story purpose. So I said, George, you're winning.
The only ones, some of them were we didn't know the script until later on. Greg and Nick, they decided their thing, which I was fine with. The tag, we knew that. Austin had, they decided. Leatherface, Ryuk. Actually, I wasn't fully decided until me and Austin went up there. Every other match was scripted.
Yeah. But now let's start from the beginning of Missionary 40. We're kind of reviewing this all over again, kind of. But what was the first match on the card? I don't remember.
Nick.
Greg and Nick.
Mm-hmm.
I like the match.
It was a good match.
I think that was probably, in my opinion, I think that might have been my second or third favorite match of the show.
Well, me and Brandon was my second favorite, but of course, greatest match of the day was the Hardcore Scramble.
Yeah, that's what I agreed with too.
Which,
I love the match. Besides the whole entire thrown together at the last second, I still like the match.
Which match?
The Hardcore Scramble, or not Hardcore Scramble, the Fatal 5-Way.
Oh no, it wasn't thrown together at all. We knew that was coming.
I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. We knew it was coming. Well, I mean, we weren't 100% certain because we didn't know if Austin Woods nor Carter Woods, nor even fully Daniel and Nathan Block were able to show. And now Austin Woods and Carter Woods had contacted me several days prior saying, yeah, it is 100% confirmed, but even then I wasn't fully certain. But then I heard mid-match, Carter Woods is here, then Daniel Block is here, and then their brothers came with. So, yeah, it wasn't thrown together.
But then we got to, I believe it was the tag?
I enjoyed it.
I think. I remember. I think.
Yeah, it was the tag.
I remember I said it was long and dry. People didn't want to be eliminated.
I look at it this way. Get the fuck over it. We were the final tag champs. It was a decent match. Dragged on, yes, but it was a decent match. And I basically no-sold another vertebraker.
But then I pretty much said on my experience video, I think. I said, when you look at all the tag teams, who do you think could have won it?
Oh, Merge Antichrist should have.
True, but they weren't.
But they were already being final world and hardcore.
I said the way it was said was there wasn't going to be a final double champion.
Say that Austin was supposed to be final world champion. I guess we can't do that. Say Shane was, for shit's sake. And someone else was set to be final hardcore. Then, yeah, Merge Antichrist. I mean, that was the team that should have won. But we didn't want 2 double final champions, or however the hell you say that statement. So we had to win for that one reason. Plus, it was cool being able to be tag champs with my cousin. It was kind of cool. I enjoyed that, actually. It was another thing I take pride in.
Yeah. Because I know you said you didn't want to be final champions until I brought up the idea.
Yeah, which even then I wasn't throwing on it.
I still thought it made sense to a point only because of what we've done with the atonement and all that stuff.
Yeah, but that infamous clip at the end of the match where me and you were holding all the fucking world IC tag, that was sick. So you know what, it was worth it.
Yeah. And then after the match, I don't remember this match so well. Well, actually, the whole entire order.
Well, the card, I mean, we already reviewed the card, basically. That was the main stuff there. We already.
Leatherface Ryuk, I wasn't expecting much out of that match.
It was decent.
And then,
I took a Joker driver and hit ground.
Young Star Gauntlet, just an ordinary battle royal.
It was decent.
Then we had, I feel like we already talked about the S1. Never mind. And then we got to I believe it was the Intercontinental title match.
Which we already talked about.
Yeah, and then we got
the
to...
Texas Death Match was okay.
I wasn't a huge fan of it until the final 10 minutes.
Yeah, Austin died again. What a shock.
Yeah.
Died again.
And then I believe was the Royal title match, which I think we talked about a little bit, but not much of. You want to talk about?
I enjoyed it. Raven shocked me. I forced him to take a glass tube, I'll be honest. The only thing that sucked is some of the weapon shots looked like shit. But all in all, Raven did very good. I mean, he shocked everyone. His girlfriend was there, and I took great pride in knowing that when I broke that glass tube over him. He took it like a boss. Honestly, I wish me and him would have got more graphic. I think we could have. I don't think he cared. I think he genuinely just wanted to go out there and fuck me up, and I wanted to fuck him up. So,
and then we got to the Royal Rumble. And from the Royal Rumble, I know...
Fuck you!
What?
Your asshole idea with the Enlightenment. Fuck you.
Because a lot of people weren't a huge fan of the outcome of the match.
Because he punted Bailey in the goddamn head. That's why they didn't like it. Because he fucking straight up Randy Orton punted the back of Bailey's head.
Now, what'd you think of the Royal Rumble match?
It was good. I mean, I enjoyed it. I just wish guys like Daniel, Peto, Nathan would have got more offense. I wish guys like Mordecai would have been out earlier. Cryptic, I mean, he was in there for too long and didn't do much. If he would have did more, that would have been fine, but he didn't do much. I just think there was a big lack of communication in that match. I think that was the biggest problem, was there wasn't a huge amount of communication.
I know for a fact that a lot of people were close to maybe half or considering eliminating themselves.
Yeah,
because I know for a fact Daniel, Nathan, Josh, and Austin, they were going to all eliminate themselves.
Peto didn't. He got killed. Austin, he didn't. See, I wish Austin Woods would have got a little more showing.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed on that.
Well, blame the fucking ego that was in the ring at the time.
Yeah, because I know Daniel and Nathan were just going to eliminate themselves off of brothers. And I
Not necessarily. They were joking about it, but then George immediately targeted Daniel right as he was getting ring. Because, George doesn't let low-card guys get offense. He never has. That's one problem George always had. He doesn't let guys like Daniel, he doesn't like guys like Peto get offense. And that's bullshit. That isn't right.
I still wish Daniel and Nathan were in that tag match that day. That's one of the things I kind of wish happened.
Yeah, but then they would have got eliminated quick. Because they know what's what.
Yeah. That was a nice
The Rumble, all in all, that was good. Akumu.
Yeah. I still think, a lot of people may still bitch about it, but I still think it was the right decision for Ed to win.
Well, him or one other person, and you're going to be shocked when I say it. Shane. That moment would have been legendary. It would have been awesome.
Then who would have won the Young Star Gauntlet then?
He would have. He would have had a clean sweep at Missionary 40.
Oh yeah, I forgot he faced Bob Humper.
Yeah.
So I think we already talked about... I think I asked you this in the Q&A, but I want you to talk it over again. Do you think PGW could have made it to Missionary 50?
I will talk about that after I send this text. I am paying attention. No, I'm more or less fucking around. But yeah, no, I do not. Honest God, I don't think we could have. You want to know why? Because people were tired of it. The one thing that you don't hear about is the fact that, number one, Akumu was getting tired of people like Maniac. You guys know the issue that happened at 33 where he left because he was going to hurt Maniac and Shug Knight. But he was getting sick of guys like that. Cryptic was getting sick of some guys too. I will also say, I don't know if we would have made it to 40 had we not announced the end in advance. Because when you announce the end in advance, you're like, okay, I have to go here, but then after this part, I'm done. Well, say we didn't announce 40. Or say 40 we announced a year in advance. Well, it wouldn't have been 40, it would have been like 50 or something. Yeah, I don't think we would have made it to 50. Not at all. Because the people were getting sick and tired of it. People were getting hurt. People were getting tired. People were getting sore. There were little to no storylines we could do. With the exception of the Midnight Mafia idea I had. Genesis was going to be gone here soon anyway. Or at least so he says. It's just we were running out of steam. We were running out, and I genuinely think that the thing that saved PGW from dying in the winter was the fact that there was an end in sight, and everybody started coming back around 33, 34-ish. And then ultimately, which led to 40, and it led to an amazing event, but I do not think we would have made it to 50.
Speaking of 40, what about the people of 40? Like, did you, like, were you, like, what was the atmosphere like from everyone?
It was a little hostile with the Rumble and Daniel's live entrance, and the tag match ultimately is what made it kind of hostile, but ultimately it was a good environment. I mean, to have guys like Maniac and Cryptic there with guys like Daniel and Nathan, which is something you never, ever saw, it was cool. It was a unique. I mean, I wish Daniel and Cryptic would have been able to go at it in the Rumble. I wish, Nathan and Austin could have gone at it. I wish, Pedo and Leatherface could have had some more interaction, but it was good. It was nice to see, like, generations of guys. The only problem I had is some of the people who weren't there. Big Rig, Opegus, Jackson Brooks, a couple select others that I can't really currently remember that I invited. Dragon, I invited him. Lunatic, I would have even liked to have seen.
I don't think he said he could have came or something.
Yeah. But, I mean, those guys I wish could have been there. And there, of course, is one individual that would have been an idiot to show up. And you know who that is. Billy, dumbass.
I know, I was just waiting for you to say that. Well, what about Imperius, too?
Oh, he wouldn't have been able to show up, but, I mean, I was trying to get a video off of him for 40.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right, continue, Billy, if you want to.
Okay, let me just set the record straight. Because the last time I did a story time was a day prior to the videos being deleted. That Thursday, he deleted the videos. Then he released a video the following Tuesday running his mouth about me, Josh, and Chris. So I went up to his house. Chris, Austin, and Brandon and my sister were with me. Me and him had a 30-minute argument. Me and him had a fight. In my opinion, I won that fight. Yes, neither one of us kept the other one down because we only got about 3 actual hits. Because I had fun with the fight. I didn't put any effort into it at all and still basically was on top the entire time. I took one good shot to my mouth. He took one good shot to the side of the head from my elbow. I will be honest with you. I genuinely, if he dropped dead tomorrow, I wouldn't care. I don't care. I don't like him. I don't want to ever associate with him again after what he did to me and everybody else that's ever wrestled here or even came here. Some people from fucking Blaze to J-Web to Akumu to yourself and I to the Sheik to anybody who had content on this channel, on the old channel, I will never care for him again. I will never befriend him again. I will never have an ounce of respect for that human being. And I genuinely, again, if he dropped dead tomorrow, I wouldn't give a shit fucking less. And you can argue and bitch and whine, moan and complain in the comments all you want. I'm just being straight up. That's my feelings on him. I don't give a damn what his reason was. I don't give a shit if any of you agree with him. I don't fucking care. That is my true opinions on him. And, of course, the videos themselves, yeah, you'll never see the shit again besides whatever you have saved to your computer.
Yeah, I'm thankful that I actually have some footage left.
But I'll tell you this, is I look at it now. I look at it like this. Yes, I'm pissed off about the videos being deleted. And, obviously, I am not the only one. Everybody was pissed off. I was waiting for someone to grab him and beat the fuck out of him.
Speaking of which, was there anyone there watching the fight?
Austin. And Billy's mom. That was it.
Oh.
Billy tried telling me that I was going to regret ever coming up there. No, it was a waste of my time, honestly. It was a complete waste. In the end, it was an embarrassment to him and his family. So,
I mean, his mom, like, did she look like she cared at all or no?
Well, she didn't give a shit less.
So she probably was on your side then to a point.
No, she wasn't on my side. She just didn't fucking care. She came out, stuck her nose in her kid's business as usual. She can't keep it fucking out of it. That's her. But anyway, anyway, so basically, god damn it. Oh, the videos. While I am pissed off and will never forgive him for what he did, and again, people can cry and bitch and moan and whine and complain all they want, I don't care. I really don't anymore. I've come to the realization that after PGW's over, I care about the people I care about, which, maybe I'll talk about them later. And that's it. But I've also come to the realization that instead of sitting here being upset about it and pissed off, that's what he wants. That is what Billy wanted when he deleted him, is to get the ultimate upper hand. Which, of course, ended up being me, in my opinion. But I've come to the realization that there's still memories we cherish. There's still memories that we have in our head of what we did as wrestlers. Matches we have that we cherish to this day, even though we can't watch them anymore. But we still cherish those matches, those moments, those memories. And I think that is actually more important than the footage itself, because that is, your mental basically mental memory of the journey that you had that you can explain to people. Now, luckily, with some of the videos I've edited together, some of the shit is still there. It's just a quick glimpse of it. But I think being able to remember that is honestly special and more powerful than just being able to watch it. I mean, of course, the initial shock value is more powerful if, you're showing someone, yeah, I took a glass tube shirtless, or yeah, I almost broke my fucking neck. Yeah, that obviously is more powerful short term, but long term, the memory that you created with the people you were with, such as Renaissance, Possession, Sons of Vengeance, The Atonement, fucking Big Bird, for Christ's sake. The matches, you and Daniel, me and Chaotic, me and Diablo, Cryptic and Reckless, Kumu, Butcher, Imperious, Diablo, Imperious, and myself. There's a list a lot long, me and you, that we can now cherish for the rest of our days on this planet, which is really cool to see.
We still got those 2 Leatherface and Scorpion matches.
Okay. Okay. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my viewing on that.
Because I don't know what happened with him, but I know he was supposed to be invited to George's grab party.
Yeah, did he show up? George said no, right?
From what because I know you said you weren't going to show up because Billy was invited.
No.
I went around before like 4, and then I went to George's thing because his party was ending at 6. I asked George, "Do you know if Billy came or not?" And then George said, "Never did."
No, then he didn't show up. George ain't lying. Why would George lie about that?
I wasn't going to ask him near the end because I would assume that he never did.
No.
So I know for a fact
Billy
that
didn't show.
Billy doesn't really care anymore about the people at this point. Like, some people actually here still do care about some of the people here, which is just surprising.
Yeah.
But I mean, people like Billy just won't.
Fuck him. He's gone.
Yeah.
And he will live with what he did for the rest of his life. I don't care that if he cares or not. I just don't want him in my life. And honestly, I'm sick of talking about him, so move on.
And then we got to, I believe it was, I can't remember. But, who were you, what were you proud of for Missionary 40? Like, what made you proud to do that event?
What made me proud is my progression, ultimately. Because I look back at Missionary 1, and I sucked as a wrestler. I sucked at everything back then. And now, I look back, I'm one of the best in my opinion. Well, in my opinion, I'm the best. But I've been credited as one of the greatest from a lot of people, including yourself. I watched yours in Pedo Storytime speaking about it. From Pedo, from Daniel, from Chris, from a lot of guys, I've been credited as one, if not the greatest wrestler we've ever had, which shows my progression from being a kid who pretended to be a wrestler to someone who is by no means a professional, but to someone who has learned a lot through self-determination, through self-drive, and through others, and not even being professionally trained. That is what I take the most pride in, that Missionary 40 presented to me. That I could go out there with Raven, have a good singles portion, have a good unique portion, and have a good extreme portion. And it shows my progression that basically I can do all the ins and outs of what we did here. And that is what ultimately I take the most pride in. The event itself I take pride in, but that is what I take the majority of the pride in, is what I've been able to achieve and what, more importantly, I've been able to better myself in when it comes to wrestling itself.
Now here's a tough question.
No.
What do you think was the difference between 22 and 40?
22 sucked it compared to 40. It's not difficult, I'll be honest. There was no surprises. It was all based on matches, some of which sucked, including the Diablo Kumu match, the Lunatic Apollo match. The tag match was okay. I mean, the only memorable match, there were 2, was Jackson, Akumu, and Genesis. That match is great. I wish I could watch that. That was classic as hell. And then me and Chaotic, of course, ending CWA in one of the greatest matches of all time. I can at least say that much. That match is, it's iconic. It is arguably the most iconic match of our time. Maybe me and Imperious also. And maybe Chris and Akumu. Those are probably your top 3 most iconic matches when it comes to...
My favorite of all time is Chris and Ed's from 25.
I don't know what mine is. And, those are probably the 3 most iconic matches of all time because of what they did. They set the bar. Me and Imperious set the bar for the rest of CWA. Me and Chaotic set the bar for the beginning of PGW. And Akumu and Reckless set the bar for legendary, up their feud to no end. And it set the bar for headshots and brutality and glass tubes, and it was amazing. But I genuinely think, not to get off topic, but I genuinely think that 22 did not have this surprise value. I will say that the one thing 22 did better than 40 was the ending. The ending at 22 is one of the moments I will cherish the rest of my life. Yes, Billy was in it, but the moment ending there, covered in blood, covered in sweat, covered in rain and mud and dirt and all that other shit, with the title Remember Everything by Five Finger Death Punch playing, which is my favorite song of all time. It was something magical, that a feeling I've never gotten since then, I never had till then, and I don't think I ever will have again. The feeling was great, but all in all, 40 was far superior in match quality, in moment quality, and just special for everyone.
Now I'm going to talk about some other people here really quick.
All right.
What happened, like, I know you back then we talked about Cryptic in your last story time. What happened with Cryptic coming back to 38? Was it 38?
Yes. Well, you see, Cryptic, and when I covered this in the last story time, me and him were just getting on decent terms, but I by no means hinted at a comeback, because I even told you, you asked me, would Maniac and Cryptic ever happen? And I said, no, probably not. Well, I found out I was wrong as hell on that. Cryptic, here's what Cryptic wanted. Cryptic wanted to wrestle. He wanted to compete, and he wanted to perform for all of you guys. He wanted to continue his legacy and continue to compete, have fun, and all that. And after finding out that, he never stole from me, he was never bad, I let him back, and I'm glad I did, because he did a very good job. I mean, when he first came back, I was but I mean, he had a good match with Diablo at 38, which is actually, a lot of people forgot about that match. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be done by the time these pictures run out. Probably not. But he did very good against Diablo. He did the Renaissance Triple Threat was great. I'm trying to think. The Master Genesis was pretty good. He did good. I was glad he was back, and that's why, because in the end he did nothing wrong to me. So why should I take him away from what he loves to do?
Now, what'd you think of his overall performances from that last run?
It was okay. There were some like him and Akumu didn't really have any classics. Him and Reckless didn't really work well together, but he did okay. And in the end, 40, he did very, very good. He actually won a personal award of mine called Superstar of Missionary 40 instead of having Superstar of the Month for that month, because there was only 40. There was no matches that month. I mean, me and Assault might have been posted that month, but that was the prior day. It would have been on the 1st, so then the match itself would have been on the 31st of May. He did the best at 40, so he won Superstar of Missionary 40. So he did, in the end, he did well.
Who do you think was your, like, top performances? Like, it could be, like, 3 people, maybe...
Of 40?
Yeah.
Cryptic. Myself. You're up there. Akumu is up there as well. Akumu's probably 3rd. And Diablo.
And then, who do you think had the most disappointing performance?
Genesis. He got his ass beat all day. He got his ass handed to him all fucking day. He did nothing in the tag match. I mean, Bloodlust honestly had no real reason to even be in that tag match. I more or less did it for the fans because they love Bloodlust, so fuck it. Might as well.
Now, here's a fun question.
What?
Do you think you would give someone permission to use PGW?
Fuck no.
Or use the name Missionary, like for HWL?
But lol, nope, you thought. I made that perfectly clear because there was talk about starting another organization some months back that I would be a part of, but I said I don't want to call it fucking PGW because that is my name. I came up with that shit. And I said, you will not call it that, and Missionary died at 40. There will be no Proving Grounds Wrestling version 2, or the channel's version 2, but you know what I mean. There will be no Proving Grounds Wrestling V2. There will be no Missionary 41. Missionary and PGW died June 3rd, 2017.
Now, crap, I forgot what I was going to talk about. Oh, now I remember now.
Are you prepared for this at all?
Not really, but...
Okay.
But there was 10 Hall of Famers.
We're going to have a long talk about this.
What, how come it wasn't 7? Because that's usually the thing, what they do. Like, who would you be your 7th if you couldn't do 10? You don't have to answer this.
No, I'll answer it. I didn't care that WWE does 7. I mean, I don't.
They're not the only one who does 7. I know football does 7. I believe baseball does 7.
I don't watch sports. I don't care about football, baseball, basketball. The 7 I'd pick. Myself, Chris Reckless, you, Diablo, Akumu, There's one I'm forgetting.
I think that's 5.
That's 5. Daniel. Raven or Butcher? Raven or Butcher? Probably Butcher, because Butcher did in the end more. Raven would be an outskirts and then Cryptic and Maniac.
Yeah. Now, will there possibly be a secondary Hall of Fame? Because I heard you guys were talking about a secondary Hall of Fame.
Okay, here's the thing, there was talk of a secondary Hall of Fame, which essentially would have been like your guys. It would have been a Hall of Fame for your like mid-card top guys. Now, some of these guys I'm about to name have won the World Championship, some of which helped during the days when PGW was in the shitter. Actually, I want to come back to the actual Hall of Fame in a second.
Okay.
Because there was a topic about that that created some controversy. If I created a secondary Hall of Fame, it would be the likes of Big Rig, Joker, Imperious, Jackson Brooks, Shug Knight, Zero Assault, and I think that's it. And there's one more person, if I could, I would induct him into the Hall of Fame. So I guess maybe you can call him an honorary Hall of Fame member. Kind of, sort of. Jackson Brooks. I honestly regret not putting him in. And since we did announce it as the end, you can call him an honorary Hall of Fame member. Not an official, I guess. But the dude, I didn't realize something about Jackson Brooks. I really didn't realize it until after 40. He rarely had a bad match. He was always there to wrestle. He was always there for fun. He was good at whatever character he played. Yeah, the fans didn't care a lot about him, which is unfortunate. And then he went to Hellbent, had the greatest Hellbent match of all time. Which, of course, does that relate to PGW? No, but it still shows how good he was. And how good he is. On ground, of all things. You didn't think Jackson Brooks was much of a ground person, but of course he's a high school wrestler, so he kind of is, I guess. So Jackson Brooks, you can consider him an honorary Hall of Fame member. Kind of, sort of, I guess, the 11th Hall of Famer, kind of, not really, but he belongs there in my opinion. And if not, he'd be a part of the secondary thing, which, the secondary thing, I'm going to treat it like this. It doesn't exist, but they get that recognition. Now, I know some of you would question, Genesis, you could argue, yeah, maybe he'd go in, but some of you could argue, Billy, you already know my thoughts on that, but some of you told me Billy should be in the Hall of Fame. And 4 months ago, I would have said, yeah, maybe. Too bad that ain't happening. But yeah, I there was a secondary Hall of Fame plan, and you could, the people that I would put into it would be Imperious, Big Rig, Joker, Genesis, Shug Knight, Zero Assault, and I forget the other fucking person I said.
Now, let's get away from backyard wrestling. Did you watch Raw? Is there anything else you got to say?
No, I'm just trying to figure out the final fucking person. Zero Assault, not Bob Humper. Zero Assault, Shug Knight, Genesis, Joker, Big Rig, and now I forgot the other one. Never mind, moving on.
Carter Woods? Did you mention
maybe Carter Woods. Maybe
yeah.
Imperious. Maybe Carter Woods would be in there.
Did you watch some Raw last night?
I watched the opening segment. I was annoyed. It was poopy.
I only watched the beginning and the end.
Of course, Strowman came back. That was nice. Probably going to have to do that shit. Strowman came back, which was cool. I love Strowman.
Loved how he came out in the ambulance.
Yeah. I'm not finished with you yet. He's still not finished with you. Crowd popped like hell. However, I will say my favorite part of Monday Night Raw. Play it. Your phone is fucking up.
He's not finished.
But yeah, Strowman, loved Strowman. He came out, killed Reigns. But in my opinion, my favorite part of Raw, honest to God, has to go to that ending. I watched that segment 2 or 3 times already, and I am by no means a fan of either guy, Enzo and Cass. I liked them as a team. Well, liked them as a team.
It was great acting.
It was. Cass, I didn't think he could cut a promo worth shit. He really did good. Enzo was legitimately tearing up. I don't know if it was legitimately tearing up.
Probably pulled a Chris, put ginger on his eyes.
I don't know how you would have seen him do it, but he did very good. I thought it was great. I thought the segment was great.
You're damn right it was me.
He pulled a Triple H. Essentially they did the exact same segment, kind of, sort of, with the videotape.
I think, didn't Jack Swagger do something like that years ago? during his world title run. Stuff that's popping in my head with that. Actually, never mind. I think I'm talking about that SmackDown vs. Raw thing. Never mind.
Yeah. Where where Randy Orton edits the footage of Cena talking about MVP.
It's like Rey Mysterio got attack or something like that.
Some dumb shit like that. But yeah, I mean, the segment was good. I think Cass has a future. I hope Enzo does. But I mean, as a wrestler, he ain't exactly, swimming in greatness.
What they need to do with Enzo is throw him into the Cruiserweight division.
Sure, fuck it. That's fine.
I mean, Chris Jericho even said, if you want the division to be more relevant, put Enzo More in it.
Honestly, you know who they should put in the Cruiserweight division? Finn Balor.
I can see it.
Don Tony and Kevin Castle, pushed... What?
Put Kalisto in there as well.
Yeah, put Kalisto. But I listen to Don Tony and Kevin Castle. If you guys like wrestling podcasts, please go check them out. Those guys are fucking great.
Good mic work.
Fuck good mic work. He's annoying.
Poopy.
But Don Tony and Kevin Castle are great. But Finn Balor, he's a disappointment anymore. Same with Shinsuke Nakamura. I can't.
They're not being booked properly. I mean, with Finn, he got hurt, but I mean, with Shinsuke, that's not acceptable.
Yeah, well, you see,
I think Vince doesn't even give a damn now about the NXT people. I mean, look at Bayley. Look at Bayley for example.
Bayley sucks. Why does anybody find her a good wrestler? Please, someone explain to me.
They've destroyed Bayley's career.
Good. She sucks. Push Alexa Bliss. She's the best diva on the roster besides push Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch. Fuck everyone else. First of all, they're the two hottest women on the roster.
James Ellsworth missed Money in the Bank.
Yeah. God himself is Miss Money in the Bank. Please check that on Hellbent.
Here's something. Do you think there's going to be a Becky Lynch and James Ellsworth match for SummerSlam?
Sure.
I just thought of that.
I could honestly give a fuck less. If you're trying to build SummerSlam up as this amazing show and you're going to put James Ellsworth in a match, that's like when they were talking about putting James Ellsworth versus Gilbert. Let's put that on a card we're trying to make halfway fucking decent. But yeah, I mean, it's Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss are my favorites.
Now let's book SummerSlam a little bit. Now, what do you think would happen with the world title picture?
Well, that depends. If you're talking about, the WWE World Championship picture, I unfortunately think we're going to see Jinder Mahal versus John Cena. I genuinely hope Jinder Mahal wins because Jinder Mahal, I'm becoming a big fan of. His match at Money in the Bank, I greatly enjoyed. I like the character. The Singh brothers do a great job at getting their ass kicked. I like Jinder's promos. He comes off as a heel, but like a passionate heel. Like he genuinely is passionate about the character he's portraying. So do not hinder Jinder because let me tell you something. That dude, I mean, is he going to be performing 5-star matches? No.
But he could at least do his job and actually be a legitimate heel.
Yeah, I mean,
there's only like 4 good heels left.
Yeah,
there's like Charlotte, Miz.
Well, Charlotte's
Jinder,
not even a heel.
I know, but I mean when she's a heel. Jinder, and then the fans.
There's Miz.
I'm only saying fans because they used to eject
fans are
shit.
fucking dumb.
That's what I'm saying.
Wrestling fans are stupid as fuck. But Jinder, Miz, and I'll say Corbin to an extent.
Well, yeah. Well, people like Corbin.
Yeah, but Corbin can also be an asshole. Plus, he's ruthless in that ring. Except he, hits Nakamura with a ladder, barely, and then baby taps Shinsuke with a camera. I'm sitting there. Chris was with me while watching Money in the Bank. I'm like, hit him harder.
His back hurts.
Pull Nakumu, hit him harder.
His back hurts.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, and then the Universal title, I mean, I guess they might be doing Lesnar and Strowman. I just hope Strowman wins. Fuck Lesnar. I love Lesnar. He is one of my favorites to watch.
I just hope Undertaker doesn't come out of retirement if that's what he did.
No, I mean, Undertaker should not come out of retirement at all. To sit here and say that he might be, and then might be feuding with Reigns again, it's just, it's no, that's not good at all. I can't type. Dude, seriously. But he needs to stay retire. And Strowman, I hope he faces Lesnar, but you know what? I hope Strowman fucking wins. But we all have to book WWE around Roman Reigns. So, I don't fucking know. And now rumor is Reigns is going to face Cena at WrestleMania. I don't care. Like, that's going to be a match.
Cena would put him over either way.
It's going to be a match of all finisher kickouts. It's not going to be a good match. And Cena's going to be cheered over fucking Roman Reigns. But WWE won't learn their lesson. So, fuck it!
Now, one of the matches I really wished would happen, Kurt Angle wrestles his first match at SummerSlam.
That'd
be
be
nice.
nice. I heard Angle Triple H.
I'd be fine with it. I just don't want that to be a WrestleMania match.
No, that's
no one would
bad
be
WrestleMania.
No one would be interested in that match. Even if it was at WrestleMania, Kurt Angle would probably have to lose to Triple H.
Yeah, let's not do that.
That's why I think if they do it at SummerSlam, they could have Kurt Angle win.
Yeah, plus that'll be Triple H's first SummerSlam in a while.
Oh, actually no, 2012?
Yep.
I think. Yeah, because that was when he faced Lesnar.
And Nick just texted me. I can't listen to that right now. But yeah, he faced Lesnar. It's just have Angle win. Have him put over someone next year.
Oh, I'd be fine. That was the main event.
Yeah, that's fine. Have him put
That's
over
a big match, so why not?
Balor or no. Well, scratch that. If he can't go anymore, don't fucking wrestle at all. Don't pull Goldberg.
He wrestled in 2017 though. Still,
Did he? Oh,
he
yeah.
had his matches with Del Rio. He had some
WCPW and
I believe
shit.
Cody Rhodes. I watched the one with Cody Rhodes, and that was actually a pretty good match.
Cody Rhodes. I hope he comes.
Cody
back.
and Angle had a good match. I watched that match.
Cody is going to make a huge name in the independent scene.
I think. Do you think he'll come back to WWE?
Years from now.
I think he'll come back maybe the next maybe like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, he's going to pull what Omega's doing. I mean, obviously Omega didn't really do much in WWE. I mean, he was there for like a tryout. But in the end, he's going to build his name in the independent scene and come back as a huge star.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about WrestleMania? Do you have any expectations for WrestleMania like match was?
There's one match they need to do. There's one match they have to do. AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura. If they don't, they're goddamn dumb.
Put the world title on the line too.
Yeah, have Styles win. Hell, you could even have Styles win the title off of maybe Baron Corbin if Baron Corbin cashes in.
Too bad it wouldn't be the main event because everyone has to suck Roman stick.
Yeah, but it should be the main event. And then have Shinsuke win the Rumble, because I don't want to hear Reigns winning another Rumble. Fuck that. Have Shinsuke win the Rumble. It's a new face. I mean, they haven't even had a new winner since Roman Reigns, and everybody knew he was going to win that one. We haven't really had a good Royal Rumble winner since Edge. I mean, Triple H was decent in 2016, but...
Sheamus was unpredictable too because everyone was expecting Jericho to win that.
Yeah, but nobody really wanted to see that. They wanted Jericho.
Well, they were okay with Sheamus winning because it was.
I mean, I like Sheamus.
It was unpredictable.
Yeah, I like Sheamus. I watched that clip a lot, but they didn't really care.
Mm-hmm.
But Styles Nakamura is the match they need to do.
Yeah, and then the Universal title match. Reigns is going to win no matter what.
Yeah, who cares? We're gonna have another main event of Roman Reigns. There's gonna be 4 years in a row, which I think only one person has ever done. I'm pretty sure we figured it out. Only one person ever did that.
And then as it goes for WrestleMania, well, for me, I think if Kurt Angle is wrestling, so if he wrestles Triple H at SummerSlam, I feel like they're going to build up the 2K. Did you see the 2K18 teaser trailer yet?
The Seth Rollins shit.
Yeah. I thought it was a badass commercial.
I mean, it was decent. It was okay.
I feel like that's going to set up an Angle and Rollins match.
If they do, that's dumb. Fuck the game. The game shouldn't have
That's
any
what
implication.
I think. Mm-hmm. They did that with Goldberg and Lesnar.
Yeah, that's dumb.
I feel like it would be Angle Rollins no matter what, even if
That'll
it
be a
doesn't
good
deal with
match, but
commercial.
don't base it off the game.
Yeah. They'll have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
That'll go to waste again.
I hope they do something with the Cruiserweight title this time.
Don't waste it on the fucking pre-show. Have a ladder match.
It's not even on that DVD for WrestleMania.
Nope.
Yeah, that's what I thought because I heard about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the entire pre-show was cut for some dumbass reason. Yeah, you can look. I have the DVD.
Oh, look. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. And I don't even know if it might be on the Blu-ray. I don't know.
Let's see, disc 1. It's probably going to be on disc 3, actually.
No, it's just the fucking...
That's the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Roman Reigns, Undertaker, Hall of Fame. No, it's the IC title match, the Cruiserweight match, and whatever the... Was it the... No. Yeah, it was the Andre.
Andre Giant, but you got to go on WWE Network for $9.99 to watch it.
Yep.
I still have to buy WrestleMania.
I got it just because it's... I got it just because it's WrestleMania. I got a lot of them.
I'm getting that Kurt Angle DVD whenever it comes out.
Same. I might get Owens. I don't know.
It's probably going to be like the Rollins one.
Rollins was decent.
Did you ever buy that Hardcore Title DVD?
Nope, haven't found it yet.
Oh, I've had it. I think you've seen it in my house already.
Yeah.
I love the DVD. There's some matches I wish they could have put in there, but overall they picked a decent amount of matches.
Well, yeah, because they're all short.
Yeah. I think that's probably why they had to leave out some of the top matches. Like, one of the matches that they didn't even add onto the thing was the Jericho. I think it was Jericho versus RVD from Unforgiven. I think it was that ladder match.
I don't know.
We'll have to look it up later. There were some other decent. Like, they didn't add anything from WrestleMania 18 either.
Yeah, but that was all garbage. I mean, that was all dumb little bullshit. I mean, even the match itself wasn't that good with Maven and Goldust for the hardcore title. And then, what was it? Spike came out, won it. Then it switched between, like, Crash. Was Crash in there?
Why did Maven even get a push?
Maven sucked ass. I don't know, because he was a tough enough winner, which tough enough is the worst fucking experiment that WWE ever had, besides the football organization.
XFL? Wait.
I think, yeah, XFL.
Did you ever watch that documentary?
No.
From ESPN? Recommend you watching that.
Because
pretty decent.
That one promo Triple H said, well, it was worse than the XFL. I'm like, oh shit. Like, and then the World Bodybuilding Federation.
Like, they had some pretty big names in that documentary. Like, they had Dick Emerson on it. I think Jesse Ventura was in it too.
That's shocking. He's a fucking idiot.
I was gonna say he was on it too.
Jesse Ventura is a fucking moron. He sued that widow, that dead Marine, I think. Yeah, fuck him.
Like, I think it was like an hour long, but I recommend you watching it.
I might.
It was pretty
if
decent.
I get that goddamn bored, but hopefully I'm getting a job soon, so I'm not that bored.
Napa.
Hopefully.
Yeah. What were your... Oh, I see you put something else there. What about that Kenny Omega match?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this because, of course, I actually didn't talk about it the first time, which is fucking annoying.
I thought you did.
Did I?
I think so. You said
I might have.
You said it was the greatest match of all time.
Oh, yeah. Omega Okada 1 was the greatest match of all time. Then they had a second one at Dominion on June 11th. I watched that whole match. Actually, I watched the first match prior that day. I'm pretty sure I watched that the same day it went to Daniel's debut. It was... Oh, my God. These two guys are amazing. I don't even like Okada very much. I don't know. I don't like Asians when they have, like, their teeth out. And I don't know. It pisses me off how they always look pissed off and egotistical and shit. But, I mean, the match was amazing. The spots, the amount of knees and kicks to the head, and the FU on the ring apron. And see, that's how Cena should do his FUs, is the way Okada does them. Well,
AJ Styles did FU on Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was pretty cool.
That was sick.
That match was actually pretty decent.
It was okay. It wasn't great. I expected more, honestly. Yeah. But, I mean, it was a phenomenal hour-long match. I mean, Kenny Omega is one of my favorite wrestlers on the face of the planet today. He is so fucking good. And Okada's really good, too. To have a 6.25 rating, I know that's controversial to some.
I mean, it's Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, first of all, it's his rating system. And see, I like that he's willing to break the rating system to show how much he loves a match. Granted, the one thing I disagree on is only 5 matches in WWE history have won a 5-star rating from Dave Meltzer. It was CM Punk, Cena, Money in the Bank, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels from Bad Blood of all matches, not even the WrestleMania one. Bret Owen, I think the cage match at SummerSlam 94. Bret Austin from WrestleMania 13. And I don't remember what the other one was. But
was it one of the Iron Man matches?
It might have been.
I feel like it's a Kurt Angle match for some reason. What if it was Angle Michaels?
No, I don't think it should have been. Kurt Angle Michaels should have had it.
I love that match so much. That's like Angle's best match.
Oh, Shawn Michaels Razor Ramon ladder match. Which, I mean, that's dumb. Undertaker Shawn should have gotten it. Undertaker Triple H should have gotten it. Angle Shawn Michaels from 21 should have gotten it. There are several others that should have gotten it that didn't. And it's honestly bullshit. It isn't right. I'll even say maybe Lesnar and Angle from WrestleMania or the Iron Man match. I know that match was hugely acclaimed. It's kind of bullshit that he doesn't really do WWE matches. I know TNA's only ever gotten one. It was, I think, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, and Samoa Joe from Unbreakable in 2005 is the only 5-star match that TNA's ever received. But that's the one thing I don't like about his ranking system. And also, he's a random fucking guy. I don't care. I don't necessarily care about his opinions, but considering they are important to a lot of these guys, I'm glad he's willing to break that barrier of a 5-star. Because he's given 2 6-stars, one in 94, and then to Okada Omega 1. And then he's given a 6.25 to Kenny Omega versus Okada 2. And it was amazing. I mean, those two matches are the two greatest professional wrestling matches of all time, in my opinion. It's amazing how good they are to tell a story, the bumps, the spots, everything. I mean, yeah, they're long in length, but you know what? They're worth it. They're so goddamn fucking good.
Yeah. They have wrestling time limits too on there, I think.
Yeah, that's what happened is Omega hit him with the Rainmaker, his finisher, and then just as he was going to pin him, the bell rang because it had reached an hour.
Was that, I'm guessing that was planned?
Probably.
Because if it's 60 minutes, that's usually the time limit.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's kind of cool they brought that back because they haven't used a time limit in ages.
WWE doesn't do that anymore unless it's to like beat the clock challenge, but they haven't brought that back in years either.
But it's kind of cool that they actually brought back the old school time limit, and plus it sets up for Kenny Omega versus Okada 3, which I never thought they'd be able to outdo their first one, which I'm still iffy on it, but I mean it's at least as good. So, I mean that's unfucking believable that they managed to do all that. So, I mean my two favorite professional wrestling matches of all, my two favorite matches period of all time. It's amazing.
And now, let's get away from wrestling. What about graduation? We both graduated.
Yeah, graduated.
It was a long day.
I almost said the third. No, that was missionary.
But at the end, it was pretty awesome.
I wanted to talk about this because graduation, of course, coincides with the ending of the Proving Grounds. I got my diploma up there. Graduation was weird because I have a friend who, maybe I'll talk about this individual later. I'm not going to reveal her name. You could probably guess who she is. Very, very, very important in my life. She graduated last year. And again, she's one of my best friends. She's very close to me. And she kind of talked me through some of this stuff. You know, graduating. What to expect the day of. How you're going to feel afterwards. And obviously, you know, losing school, which I hate my school. I've made that perfectly clear. I like some of the people. I like the principal. A lot of people don't. I greatly respect him.
I like the principal.
I hope I see him in public one day, and I want to thank him because he was a hell of a principal.
I thanked him during the thing.
But that everyone thanked him during the thing. I want to give him a personal thank you. Maybe if my sister has an open house I go to or some bullshit like that, maybe I'll see him there. But you know, it was weird because it's like it was PGW and high school going at the same time. And it's like, okay, now it's time to grow up a little bit. Now, of course, this next month I'm kind of taking off to kind of figure out, okay, what the hell am I doing with life? Of course, in Hellbent, which, fun fact, even though I should be getting my license and a job here soon, I don't plan on leaving Hellbent out of nowhere. But graduation was fun. I mean, it finally stated that you're an adult now. Of course, I turned 18 today, which is cool. And it was fun. It was cool. I mean, granted, besides almost pissing myself while waiting, because I had to piss the entire time and I'm nervous walking in front of people. Yeah, fun fact, I'm very nervous in front of people when it comes to presenting or even walking in front of people in like a stage ceremony type setup. Of course, in PGW, you know, I can help crucify someone or, you know, torture somebody, but when it comes to real life, it's hard to do that. I felt like I was going to piss myself because we had our row go up, right? And they're calling the names, and the girl in front of me goes, no, the guy in front of me goes, the girl I was talking to, not talking to, but like the girl that I'm friends with was in front of him, and they call my name, and I'm like, I'm going to piss myself on stage at graduation. That's fucking great. One thing completely changed my mind, though. I get yelled, Beerus, CWA, probably 15 Beeruses, 7 CWAs. Swear to God, you can back that up that Beerus was said, correct?
Yeah. I heard a lot of Beeruses. I heard a lot of CWAs. I heard someone in the back. They were like, "Yeah, George the Butcher."
Whoa, he got 1. I got like 15.
Yeah.
Nah, that's good that George got acknowledged though.
Brandon and I didn't get any, but thank God. I don't
think Raven would have, and you.
I wish to a point I would, but I'm trying to like stay away from that stuff.
Bitch, you know that ain't happening. We got it. You made a Hellbent website, which thank you by the way for doing. Wrestling, it brings us together, but I'll probably talk more about that at the end. But yeah, I mean, to get Beerus yelling, and then that girl texts me. Me and her talk. Me and her actually hung out last week. I'm just gonna stop there. No, it sounds like I fucked her. I didn't. Unfortunately.
Is that all you had to talk about for graduation?
Yeah, it was a good feeling, and then
it just was a pretty long event.
Yeah, but I mean, it's your only one.
360 plus the one.
I'll be honest, the deceased.
Yeah, I forget what they call that stuff.
Deceased.
No, I mean like this. whatever, I can't remember.
The people that graduate that died?
Yeah.
Well, she
I know.
graduated, but unfortunately she lost her life.
An honorary or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, some shit like that.
What were your inspirations in wrestling?
Wrestling, of course, if you guys pay attention to my style of wrestling, it's not hard that I take shit from people, from professionals. I want to say my first one is Brock Lesnar. German suplex, I used to do all the time. And let me tell you something, Raven takes the best German suplexes. I'm not talking about the ones where you flip like Diablo and Cryptic do. But, I mean, Raven just all across the ring. I thought I hit his head off the springs. Brock Lesnar, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Lesnar. I try sometimes not being because of his title reigns, but, I mean, he's just so fucking badass, how he hurts people. Of course, the F5 was my finisher for the longest time. And ultimately, the Kimura, I put Raven out with the Kimura lock. I fucked him up with that. German suplexes, Suplex City, I've said multiple times. I had a Suplex City shirt. I've wore Brock Lesnar shirts multiple times while wrestling. Lesnar is probably my biggest inspiration. I will say another one is The Undertaker. Undertaker is, in my opinion, the greatest wrestler of all time. I don't think there's any argument for that. I don't see how you can argue it for everything he's done, how many great matches he's put on and everything. I don't see how you can argue that. I've done the Tombstone, Chokeslam. I might have done an occasional Last Ride. Of course, The Undertaker was an inspiration to you to an extent. You using Hell's Gates, Chokeslams. You even did the Tombstone a few times back in the day.
Yeah, but I did the worst way possible.
Yeah,
I did it because I had a hard time picking people up back then, so I just picked them up with a fire and scared them.
Yeah, that's why I stole the move from you.
Yeah.
And then Jordan, till Missionary 9 was like, he's doing Scorpion's move. Like, bitch, I've been doing it for 2 months now. Are you fucking stupid? What you said?
Shades of the Undertaker, Shades of Randy Orton.
His name's Beerus because he drinks.
But I was still the first one to ever say that. But he said on camera.
Please go fuck yourself on that one. But
you're welcome.
No. Or full Nelson Facebuster. How someone didn't kick his fucking teeth?
Code breaker.
It's a skull. How the fuck was that a code breaker? I wish that clip still exists. I wonder if it does. I wonder if it exists in like the annals of our messages.
Probably Chris.
Probably. But yeah, Undertaker, greatest wrestler of all time, and J-Web's a fucking idiot. So anyway. Next is CM Punk to a minor extent, and Triple H. Triple H, I obviously modeled my spine buster after him and took the pedigree off of Scorpion. And plus, Triple H is just a fucking badass. Just the way he is. CM Punk, my pipe bomb was based off of some of the things he said. The way I talk was kind of modeled after Punk to an extent. I took actually inspirations off Scorpion here to an extent. Diablo, obviously in Hellbent, I stole his Gutbuster move. You could argue the Awakened Dreams, but I do that to be a dick.
I do too, but you want me to as well too.
Yeah, Cryptic, I do his knee to the back of the elbow shit, which is painful to watch sometimes. I'm saving one wrestler for the end. Negan from The Walking Dead, as you know, I have kind of modeled some segments after him. Of course, beautiful Lucille. You can go fuck yourself. Beautiful Lucille. The brutalization of the merged Antichrist. There we go. Our boy Donald Trump.
Keep like that.
By the way, Trump is a great president, and I still don't see anything wrong with what he's done so far. Anyway.
Is that all you have to talk
about? But then, well, one more.
Okay.
Honestly, my most recent inspiration that I've taken a lot of moves off of is Kenny Omega. I mentioned him earlier, obviously, Kenny Omega.
You used the theme song too.
Yeah, use his fucking theme song. Kenny Omega, in my opinion, outside of AJ Styles, is the greatest wrestler on the planet today. He is that damn talented. He's that damn good. He's amazing on the mic. He's funny. He's the leader of the Bullet Club, and I hope that he becomes so famous outside of WWE that WWE actually books him fucking right. I don't know that they will. Which, if they don't ever sign him.
I mean, Kenny Omega's not his time yet in
No.
WWE. It's probably 3 or 4 more years.
He is amazing in that ring. I use the one winged angel, which in Hellbent I call Divine Grace. And then I use the knee strike to the head. I do a lot of my knees and kicks based off Omega. He's phenomenal to fucking watch. I even do the suplex neckbreaker based off Omega, which actually I did prior to knowing it that he did that. But I love Kenny Omega. Oh, and AJ Styles to an extent. I do the Styles Clash. That's actually about it. But yeah, those wrestlers are the ones I usually inspire off of. What?
I just wanted to show you how much I've looked.
Oh,
in case we do the other one.
Yeah.
Now the last question I want to ask you is, what are you looking to going forward, and what are your thoughts on some people?
Well, I'll do thoughts on people. I'm going to talk a little bit personal life here. The people here are okay.
I was checking.
They're okay. Some of them, obviously, I'm good friends with Chris, Raven, Akumu, yourself, Tara, pretty much. A couple select others. I'm good friends with Daniel now, a lot better than we've ever been, because, of course, he gave me the opportunity to wrestle in Hellbent. Friends with Pedo, which actually is a relatively recent occurrence. I actually very much like Pedo nowadays. I ripped him a new asshole in the last story time, but I greatly like Pedo now. A couple others. Phoenix, me and her are still great friends. I love that girl. She's always there for me. And everybody else, I mean, I like Nick, I like Diablo, Bailey, Greg, I like Steve. I love Steve.
Greg's old.
Greg is very old. I love Steve though. What he did for those of you who don't know, just put hashtag free Shug Knight in the comments. If you look it up,
free Shug Knight.
Just
free Shug Knight.
Yeah, you'll know. I mean, if you don't know, just private message me about Shug Knight. But
should we put the description of the story in the description?
Yeah, that makes life so much easier.
Okay, I'll put the if I can remember, which I probably will. I'll put the description below on what the story was.
Yeah, Shug Knight's a hero, and he should be treated as such. Which, if anything, just emphasizes why he should be honored here. Yeah, it's not a wrestling-related thing, but it's something far above wrestling, and if you read the article, you'll understand.
It depends which one they're talking about.
What the fuck?
Whether they're talking about the situation, the stabbing situation.
He saved a little girl from being raped.
It's news stories.
Who the fuck cares?
News stories have different things and stuff.
You know,
That's something I actually hate. I hate how news stories have to say bad things about people. Meanwhile, they're just so stupid.
It's dumb. They try wording it to the best way because they
make them look bad.
Yeah, they make Shug Knight look bad. Meanwhile, he's a fucking hero. He saved this girl from being raped. This 12-year-old little girl from being raped. We're probably going to have to add more fucking time because I'm going to go on a tirade about this now because you got me talking about Shug Knight.
Well, it's thoughts of people. So
true.
You were talking about Shug Knight.
But I mean, the dude, I've never had a problem with Shug Knight. I mean,
he's always been a cool dude.
He's a little stiff in the ring, especially he pulls out right sides.
He has the greatest finisher of all time.
Oh, yeah, greatest finisher. Nearly killed Ed, nearly killed Greg, nearly killed Greg's knee. Then again, it's not hard to nearly kill Greg. He's practically at death already. But I still like Greg.
Cody almost died.
Yeah, that's what happens when you piss off the Akumu. But, Shug Knight, great individual. And he always was. He was never bad. He was always respectful to me and my family, always respectful to other wrestlers. He never, ever, ever had a problem with anybody here, and besides the whole Kumu thing. But he was just more or less defending Maniac at that point. I mean, he's a great guy, and I really give him a lot of respect. I know I just went on... I mean, I talked more about him than my actual, close friends, but that's just because of the whole incident. But, of course, me and Chris, good friends, talk about all that shit. Me and Brandon, Phoenix. Everybody else, I mean, I don't look to talk too much. Me and George haven't talked much. Me and... Who the fuck else fucking came here? Everybody who, me and Z are real cool buds. I don't think there's anyone else I really associate with much. I mean, Noah I'll talk to occasionally. I don't really have a problem with him. Of course, Billy. Ryan I talk to. Joker I talk to. He kind of lives here.
Yeah. Elmo.
But, yeah, everyone, I have my close couple people, and that's the main people I'm concerned with. And then, of course, I made reference to one of these people earlier. There are 2 girls in my life. That sounds like I'm cheating on them. Or in a relationship with 2 of them. But obviously I'm very close to these 2 girls. I love them. I love these 2 girls. They're great. They're always there for me. They help me out a lot. They are 2 of the reasons I managed to stay sane while in Proving Grounds. Because I could always talk to them every time we hung out, every time we saw each other. I had so much fun with these 2. Just as friends. These 2 are 2 great people. I refuse to reveal their names so I don't need them getting fucking friend requests. But these 2 girls are fucking great. I love them. And I love the people that I'm close with here. Now, as for the future going forward, well, all I have to say is Hellbent, I plan on making something special. I plan on making Hellbent far more special than it's ever been. I plan on really revitalizing what the potential... revitalizing the momentum that it had, And I plan on bringing the best out of HWL Hellbent that I can with the current situation that we're in. So, going forward, job, license, and as for my future, I don't entirely know. But I will say this. Wrestling isn't out of the question. I'll say that. But, with that being said, I'm going to enjoy my time in Hellbent because I plan on making the best out of it while I have the time there, because I will give a small spoiler. My time in Hellbent could be cut at any point. At any point. I could easily be told one day you're never wrestling at Hellbent again. The reason is his mom don't like me because I carved the son's head open. But, you know, you never know what could happen when she could go, this is done. But for right now, I love Hellbent. I greatly thank Daniel. I thank Phoenix, Josh here, Raven, Akumu, Chris, and then those two girls, and everybody else that's close to me in my life, I thank. Again, I know I do this a lot. I thank you fans. And I hope you enjoy what Beerus has left to offer, because I'm just getting started. Greatly enjoyed my second
Thank you, Beerus.
appearance on Storytime. And I hope you guys enjoy, because you never know what's to come, but remember this. Nothing lasts forever. But that's why you make the best of the time you have.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know which episode this will be yet, but this was with Beerus. So thank you for joining me today, and happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next story time. See you guys.